All right, welcome back. So this is part 2. So last week's video, we got the rear brackets mounted on the car, and then I realized that the length of this kit is too short, about 4 inches too short to work with the brackets that they gave us for the kit. Obviously it's 486 and 96, and that's the difference. Besides it not having the nuts to bolt to the frame itself, there is a length difference. So today we're going to modify that front bracket, get both sides of those made up, test them on the car, and then we're gonna hook everything else up. So if you do have an 86 and 96 car, we'll get to the whole, adjusting and tightening everything down. I'll take the car for a ride, and then I'll give you my feedback on whether or not it's worth it or not for your car. I just want to give you a better idea. I cut those ends off there, and then I have the new pieces that are going to go on roughly like this. So first I'm just going to get these tacked in place and just try them on the car, and then I'll get them welded, and then I'll do something with these edges here, and then I'm going to put a gusset probably back here somewhere just for extra support. Okay, so I got it tacked up, the bracket mounted to the frame there just with some vice grips. And then you can see there, so it doesn't look horrible, it's just a little bit longer. And what I'm gonna do, we're gonna weld all this up and then just kind of clean up these edges here and make it a little nicer looking. All right, so here's the finished bracket there. I got it gusseted underneath and gusseted it up there too. So now I'm just gonna check it on the car, and then I'm gonna sand it all down and then paint it again. All right, so I marked where the bracket's gonna go. So I'm gonna trim up this piece here, just so it's out of the way and the bracket will fit flat on the frame there. Now I got it mocked back up in here. As you can see, doesn't look that bad. So now we're gonna go underneath. All right, so I have it clamped to the frame here. You wanna make sure it's flat as possible to the frame. And then I have a 1/2 inch transfer punch here. I'm gonna go in each one of these holes, and I'm gonna give it a smack. All right, now that they're in place, I'm going to take this out, and then we can start drilling out for our nut certs. All right, so I just put some pilot holes in here. So you're going to drill all the way up to a 1/2 inch drill bit to put the nut certs in there. All right, so I'm putting my rib nuts in here now. I'm going to sit it up in there. You're going to open up your tool like this. Thread it all the way up in there like that. Run it all the way in until it bottoms out. And it's just like doing a regular rivet. Just make sure it's kind of flush on the flame. You got like a straight shot on it. Just unscrew it, and there you go. All right, so there is the new bracket, it all painted, and that's what the old one looks like. So you can see that length is the difference there, but it turned out nice, so I'm time to bolt it up. All right, so now I'm gonna hook the bracket up. First gonna hook it up on the heim joint in the back here. I do have these heim joints and links tied it up on one of the brake lines just to keep it up at the right level. I'm gonna run these bolts with lock washers that they give you in. right, now I'm gonna tighten these down, and I'm gonna tighten the heim joint bolts down. The heim joint bolts are 80 foot-pounds of torque. I'm not sure what these are. I have to double check in the instructions. I don't know if it says it or not, but I'm gonna tighten all this stuff down. I'm not gonna adjust everything yet till I have the other side done and I have it at ride height, which we'll get to. All right, that's bolted in there. Actually turned out pretty good. I just want to give you a quick look at the e-brake cable. So I ended up just moving it along here. I still have the factory bracket that secures it in the same location and same there. So you don't have to really do anything with this. You just have to make sure that it's on the inside up here after you have it torqued down. Finish the passenger side one. So now I'm gonna get it up in ride height and then adjust them. All right, so I got the car up on my jack stands here. So now I'm going to start adjusting this. So what I did was I ran the lock nuts all the way out on both ends. And I'm gonna try to tighten these equally. They say to tighten them down and then drive the car and see if it goes away, the rattling. So I'm just gonna tighten them down equally on both ends and then drive it and see if that changes it. It probably will help too if you take the roof off, just so you can see if there's a significant change or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start snugging this down now. All right, so I put a piece of tape on the outside of the link here and some tape over my 1-inch wrench, and I'm gonna start running this down, tightening it inwards here, and I'm gonna just note how many times this goes around just so I can do the same for the other side. One, and we'll do the other side. All right, so I went around 3.5 turns and it feels pretty tight. So I'm gonna just lock these down and then just drive the car and see if there's a change. All right, so I just got back, and yes, it's definitely a game changer. I can feel it right away. Even little small turns, the car lays completely flat, and there's no flex at all, which is pretty impressive, I have to say. It definitely lives up to all the hype and the reviews. So if anybody has not done this yet, and you're not a fan of the body flex with the roof off and stuff like that, this will definitely get rid of that. So definitely happy with that. I probably could have just done that and not the front camber bar, but I'm not gonna obviously take it off at this point. Any extra can help, in my opinion, with these cars. So I was definitely happy with that. So the only downside, obviously, is the length, the front bracket. So if you have 86 to 96 cars, I would definitely suggest it. It'll bolt right up. It won't take you that long at all to do because it'll bolt right up. So if you have an 84 and 85, you're obviously gonna have to fab something. Unless Vette comes out with a link that's 4 inches longer, then at that point, all you'd have to do is drill the holes, rib nut for an extra 35 bucks, it would bolt right up on the car. which would be the easiest solution in my opinion. So let's hope down the road they see this and they come up with a solution for us 84 and 85 guys. But besides that, nothing but, you know, 5 stars in my opinion. I will leave the link in the description for this and the rib nut tool. If you want to modify that front bracket, the metal was 1.5 inches by 3/16 mild steel. You can get that pretty much any metal place or order it online, and you're just gonna have to maybe follow my stuff step by step to fab and make yours, which isn't that big of a deal, but one more headache nonetheless. But definitely worth it. So if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Thanks for watching.